Hi, welcome to another edition of Azure Every Day. My name is Bob Rubaki and I'm a consultant with PragmaticWorks. And we've had a lot of discussion lately about using Databricks within Azure Data Factory for ETL. And today I wanted to talk about 3 use cases for why you would consider using Databricks, particularly within Azure Data Factory as part of your ETL processing. This may not necessarily be the top 3, but these are 3 practical real-world cases. The first one would be for integrating machine learning into your processing. So with Databricks, we can use scripts to integrate or to execute machine learning models. And it really makes it quite simple to perhaps feed a data set into a machine learning model and use Databricks then to render a prediction and output that the results of that prediction perhaps into a table in SQL Server. So that would be one use case for using Databricks. Another would be using the Databricks tooling and code for doing your transformations. So we understand now that in preview we have the data flows within Azure Data Factory, which are providing some really great functionality. But if I want to write some custom transformations using Python or Scala or R, Databricks is a great way to do that. So if I want to get into do some of my own transformations, things like that, this is a use case for Databricks. A third use case would be if my source data is either in Azure Data Lake or in blob storage. Databricks is particularly strong at using those types of sources for data. So Databricks is really designed for querying and processing large volumes of data, particularly if they are stored in a system like Data Lake or blob storage. So again, this is a case where you would consider using Databricks within Data Factory. Now, taking a look at this diagram, this kind of is a sample of what the second and third use cases might look like. And the portion on the top kind of shows a typical pattern that we use often, where I might have some source data in Azure Data Lake, and I would use a copy activity from Data Factory to load that data from the lake into a stage table, and then perhaps using either a SQL Server stored procedure or maybe some SSIS, I would do some transformation there before I loaded my final data warehouse table. Now with Databricks, I'm showing this in the bottom portion of the diagram, I could use Databricks to query that data out of Data Lake and put it into the cluster, the Databricks cluster. And then within my Databricks cluster, I can perform my transformations using Databricks code and logic there. And then I can use Databricks again to output that transformed data directly into my data warehouse table. So it's just a little bit of a different pattern. Kind of a lot depends on the data that you have and the type of transformations you want to use. But those are 3 real world use cases for using Databricks in either just your ETL or particularly with Azure Data Factory. I hope you found this information useful. If you have any questions about Databricks, Azure Data Factory, or data warehousing in the cloud, please reach out, let us know. Thank you.